Hey everyone, I'm Laura Gadenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of September 1st through the 14th, 2025. So today on September 1st, Monday, we have Saturn moving back into the sign of Pisces, and Saturn is going to be here until February 14th. So we are returning to something in our lives where we have had to work really hard over the last 2.5 years and put in a lot of effort and dedication. And Saturn is a planet of hard work, of difficulties, of kind of like grinding away, commitment. And so when Saturn returns to a sign that it was in or retrogrades, it's like we're reviewing something, we're going back to something to complete, to finish up something that we've been working on for a while, maybe a longer project that's taken effort and dedication. So that's gonna be whatever house that has Pisces on the cusp for you. For me, Pisces is my 10th house of career and public offerings, public reputation, and I am a therapist, I'm a clinical social worker, and I've been working for the last 2 years on getting my license. And it's been about a little over 2-year process. It'll be about 2.5 years by the time I get my license. So I will be getting my L during this period of time when Saturn is in Pisces again. So that's kind of a real life example of how that works. And it's been a really, oh my gosh, it's just felt like forever. It's been a really, really long process. So depending on what your rising sign is, that's going to determine where Pisces in your chart is and where Saturn's retrograding. Okay, Tuesday the 2nd, Mercury heads into Virgo, and Mercury will be here until October 7th. Mercury loves being in the sign of Virgo. It's exalted and in domicile, which just means that Mercury functions really, really well in the sign of Virgo. Mercury can do Mercury things in the sign of Virgo really well. So what are those things? Things like getting organized, being really detail-oriented, being able to sift and sort through things and get rid of things. Virgo is known for being really good at editing or cutting out. So once again, whatever house this is for you, you'll be able to hone in on the details and get really specific. For me, that's my 4th house of home and where I live and family. And so I've definitely been noticing, especially since we are in Virgo season, the sun's in Virgo, so this is already being highlighted. I've been really organizing and kind of putting things where they need to go and getting things done around the house. So that's been really nice. We are going to be having an eclipse in Virgo also here at the end of September. And so your Virgo house is really, really highlighted, as is your Pisces house. So we are going to be having an eclipse in Pisces on the 7th. That's a big deal. We are in eclipse season, huge deal. And so, whatever houses these are for you, just notice what big changes have been underway for the last year in these areas of life. Major endings and major beginnings. So more on the eclipses in a little bit. On Wednesday the 3rd, Mercury in Virgo makes a square to Uranus. This brings about new and creative ideas that help maybe unstuck you. Uranus is a planet about freedom, innovation, revelation, revolution. And so, if you have been feeling stuck, this is a good transit to really think outside the box, brainstorm. Wait, what are my options? Where do I have agency and choice? You might also feel kind of mentally overstimulated potentially. So be mindful of how much you're ingesting or putting into your mind. And I would also encourage calming activities that can help you focus the mind, or just calming, grounding activities that help you connect to your body and to yourself, laying in the grass, going on a walk, writing. If your mind is going all over the place and you're feeling really overstimulated, and if some people struggle with sleep issues because of that, then something you can do is also just kind of do a word vomit on a page, just write down everything that is in your mind. Give it 5 minutes of just free association writing. Also, I apologize, there's the train right next to me, so hopefully that's not too loud. But yeah, Mercury square Uranus can definitely be a bit overstimulating. You might have really enlightening conversations or conversations that help you think about things in new ways. You might have an unexpected change of mind. Uranus is very unexpected. It's a planet about unexpected changes, so you can't really predict what will come with Uranus. It's a surprise. So yeah, so I'd be curious to hear what comes up for you. Okay, Thursday the 4th, Mars in Libra makes a square to Jupiter in Cancer. Mars is our energy, how we take action, how we put forth effort. And in the sign of Libra, we've been working on putting our energy towards Libran things. So that's relationships, maybe navigating conflicts in relationships, maybe trying to figure out a way to find peace and harmony in relationships and understand both sides, both perspectives. That's something that Libra is excellent at. Maybe you've been putting your energy towards the arts, towards Libra is a sign all about beauty and the arts, and also as well as peace and justice. So you could be noticing a draw towards putting your energy in those areas as well. So with Mars squaring Jupiter, a planet about growth and expansion and optimism and luck, you might feel like extra energy to put your energy towards those things that I just mentioned. You might feel a great enthusiasm towards putting your energy or efforts towards justice, peace, relational conflict, resolution, the arts, etc., collaborating with people. This feels like a very optimistic transit. Jupiter is a planet about faith and hope and optimism, and so you might feel a lot of optimism to take action. There might be some healing going on, like I mentioned, with regards to conflict. You may overextend yourself, so be mindful. Once again, Mars is our energy, and Jupiter is very optimistic and hopeful and can make things bigger, and so you might just kind of overdo it. And if you have Mars square Jupiter in your chart, you might know what this is like. I personally have this aspect in my birth chart, so this is something I've really had to learn and I'm still learning with regards to my energy, that I have limits to my energy and I can't do everything. So been kind of a tough lesson to learn. Okay, Friday the 5th, Uranus stations retrograde at 1 degrees 27 minutes or so of Gemini, and it's going to be retrograde until February 4th. In that time frame, Uranus will head back into Taurus. Can't exactly remember when at this moment, but just note that Uranus is stationing retrograde in Gemini. And yeah, so we're kind of, once again, Uranus is a planet about freedom, revelation, revolution, change, and we've been kind of shaking things up in the part of our charts that contains Gemini, and trying new things, being innovative, being creative, being maybe a little zany. And retrogrades are, once again, about review and reflection and going back over. So until February 4th, we're going to be kind of reviewing and reflecting, and actually until Uranus returns to Taurus, can't remember the date, but we're going to be reviewing how have we been making changes to our Gemini house in that area of life, and how's that been going, and what has that been working, and what should we do differently? Uranus is all about doing things differently. So that is Friday the 5th. Saturday the 6th, the moon heads into Pisces, and then on Sunday the 7th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So eclipses always indicate major changes, major endings, and major beginnings, but they don't necessarily happen at the time of the eclipse. Sometimes they do, sometimes they're within a week or two of the eclipse, but sometimes these changes that are happening in eclipse signs, or where eclipses are happening, take about a year to play out, so it's not always all at once. Think back to September 17th of 2024. That was the last time that we had a Pisces eclipse. What was going on then? Remember, Saturn was in Pisces at that point, and Saturn is in Pisces again this time. what major changes, what major endings and beginnings were going on around then. This is part 2 of the series. Part 3 of the series will be August 28th of 2026. So eclipses happen in 2 sets of signs for about the span of 18 months. So these major changes are happening over the course of 18 months. And so, yeah, just take note. Usually there's like 3 eclipses in a set of signs, and it's like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So yeah, big changes on the horizon. I always like to kind of just put out a warning that eclipses are faded energy and like not energy to necessarily be ritualized or do things with. Like really like lay low if you can, rest, relax. Which is kind of funny. I'm saying that because I'm actually going to Berkeley for a contact improvisation workshop. So definitely not following my own advice, but usually the advice is to lay low and rest during eclipses and don't do any sort of like witchy ritual things. And yeah, so expecting changes in your Pisces house. This is where the North Node is. So this is a North Node eclipse. And so the North Node increases things, makes things bigger. So we're moving towards Piscean themes, and we're moving away from or letting go of Virgoan things, which is where the South Node is. So we do have a Virgo eclipse with the South Node there at the end of September. And those are themes around reducing, letting go, releasing, making less. Whereas Pisces, where the North Node is, we're growing, increasing, moving towards. And Pisces is a sign about emotion, about compassion, creativity. And so this is a time to really express yourself, express your feelings, get in touch with your emotional body and feel and create and be weird and be dreamy and visionary. But be mindful of being delusional or being overly, like, don't just believe anything, right? Sometimes that's the thing with Pisces. Like Virgo, the opposite sign of Pisces, is very detail-oriented and questions and, wants to know the facts and is maybe a bit more logical, you could say. Pisces is very, like, it's a Jupiter-ruled sign. It's very much so oriented towards faith and belief and abstraction and mysticism. And yes, lean into those things. Like, let yourself go. Let yourself have mystical experiences, but also don't get lost in things that might not be true, because delusion can really impact not only yourself, but other people around you. If we are believing in delusional things such as, like ICE is meant to take people away into detention camps, like that sort of delusion is what I'm talking about. Or conspiracy theories, right? So just being mindful of that. Okay. Friday the 12th, we have both the Sun and Mercury making a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer. This feels really optimistic and hopeful, and maybe you're getting some good news, or you're having, there's the train again, sorry. Or you're having a bit of good luck, or opportunities are opening up. Once again, Jupiter being a planet about expansion and faith and hope, and Mercury is the mind and communications, and the Sun is our sense of self and our vibrancy. So yeah, it's really feels like a really optimistic, hopeful, expansive day. And then on Saturday, the 13th, Mercury and the Sun make a conjunction in Virgo at 20 degrees of Virgo. And whenever these two planets come together, we receive some sort of insight or awareness or aha moment, like, oh, I finally understand something, or oh, I finally received the information that I need to make sense of something or to take a step further in my plans. Or it's kind of like, oh, I get it now. A light bulb just went on. off in my head, or on, I suppose. So yeah, it's good day for realizations. Highly recommend journaling, talking with friends, loved ones, spending time with yourself and your own psyche. And yeah, so we have quite an exciting couple weeks coming up. I hope this was useful. Please like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear from people. I'm open for readings and consultations. Please reach out. You can email me at consultation@lauragadenic.com or message in the comments here as well. And otherwise, I will be back in a couple weeks with another astrological update, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.